Hi, welcome to Dusty Shelf Collectables. Today, the first Hot Wheels set of 2023, Fast and Furious. Yeah, hi, so just arrived. This is my first set of 2023, my first premium set of 2023, Fast and Furious. These get released as a Fast and Furious brand by Hot Wheels once, twice a year. Since I forgot, well, been going a good few years now. They're a bit like the film, I think we're up to 9, 10, 11, I don't know which film we're up to now. Like the franchise just keeps giving, these keep coming, these sets of Fast and Furious. That said, they are very popular, the cars are very popular. I particularly like them, I think they're great sets. And they've become quite collectible, they do disappear very, very quickly. So, going through what we've got in here, we've got the Mazda RX-7, we've got a 1967 Chevy off-roader, we've got the Jeep Grand Cherokee, we've got the Porsche 718 Cayman, and finally my favourite, and I think everybody's favourite, the Nissan GTR R34. So, yeah, fantastic. Really nice set. Right, so a little bit of a rant. I went into the local Smiths. I like to go in there, I like to look at the cars. Now in the UK, if anybody's watching from overseas, it's not like Walmart over here where you go into a big Walmart and there's hundreds, they have a big aisle full of all the different cars in there. We just don't have that. We have a toy store called Smiths and some local shops, and they stock a few sets. There's not a lot there. But Smiths do tend to stock the premium brand now and again. Now I went in there and they did have this Fast and Furious set, and they had 4 racks, all of these 3. These 2, that's the Porsche Cayman and the Skyline, have been sold out. Now, it could be that these are just the ultra popular. I mean, obviously they're most desirable because they're the ones on eBay at the moment with a very high price. That people have gone in there and just bought those 2 and left these 3. I feel it quite sad that if somebody wants to go in there and buy a set, they can't. But the twist I want to put on it and propose is I'm more worried about the longevity of a business like Smith's keeping in stock these premium cars. If every time they put a set of 5 cars on the shelf, and bear in mind that when they buy from Hot Wheels, they buy them in a box. They can't just say, oh, we'll have 10 of these and that's all they stock. They have to buy them as a set in a box. Now, if it comes to a point where they end up with shelves and shelves of the less desirable cars left on there, there will come a point where they look at it as a business case and say, okay, well, we're selling these for full price, but the rest of the set we're going to have to sell at a discount every time. They'll just stop stocking them, and that just will be a very sad day for all of us. So, yeah, I like to think that people have just gone in there and bought these because they're the cars that they want. It just so happens that these were still sitting on the shelf, but I fear the other way, that people are just going in there and buying the premium cars just to flip them, which it's a fact of life, but it's just sad. It's just sad. Anyway, what I want to do, as always, I'm going to take these over to the bench. There's some quite interesting things in here, particularly this one with the baseball, but we'll go into that in a minute. Take these over to the bench, and obviously we'll go through the cars in a little bit more detail. Thank you so much for the kind words that you've shared about these Hot Wheels videos and the reviews on the diecast. Really, really kind. Few bits of constructive criticism, which I really thank you for, is when I'm holding the cards up like so and moving them around, there's a request to get more detailed pictures, which I'll try and do. I'll drop the pictures in as I've done before and try and get them as clear as I can with the detail of the car. I'm not going to open the packets, sorry. I've had a request to open the packets and look at the cars. I'm not going to do that. I like to keep them in the box for my collection, so apologies. Maybe if this channel takes off and I can buy 2 sets, then yeah, we'll see, but not for the moment. Anyway, let's make a start. So, Hot Wheels Fast and Furious, it's a premium set. They've done loads of these now. They started many years ago with the first Fast and Furious set that Hot Wheels released, and they seem to have 1 or 2 sets out every year. It's a 5-car set. There's no chase car as far as I'm aware, so let's get into it. So number 1, the Mazda RX-7. Now, if you saw the review I did on the Ronin run, you'll know that I don't know a lot about Japanese cars. I managed to get this modelled up with an RX-8 in that review, with the RX-8 having the small door, but this is definitely the RX-7. It's the FD version, still rotary engine, so a Wankel engine in there with turbochargers, I believe, on this. It was built by Mazda between 1978 and 2002, and this is a 1993 version, which featured in the films. As far as I can tell, it was a red car in the films, not a white car, driven by Dominic Toretto. I'm saying it like I know who that is. I've seen a couple of the films, my kids love them, but yeah, it's not my cup of tea. It's one of those where, you know, you either love it or you hate it, and regardless, you take your brain out and take it for what it is. But if you're into fast cars, then it's a good franchise. But anyway, back to the car. Last time out, as I say, was Ronin Run, which I reviewed. It's a 2017 casting. This is probably about the 20th time it's been used, this casting. Usual things: detailed headlamps, tail lamps, and it's got HKS power on the side here. It's also got some small livery just on the wing here. I'll try and get a zoom in shot on that. I can't read it with my eyes, it's far too small. But otherwise, that's car number 1. Okay, number 2 of the set is a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro off-road. I think this is pretty unique to the film. It's got the black stripes across the top, and it featured in the film in Fast and Furious 7, I believe, and this was the scene where they backed the cars out of a flying aeroplane and they all landed on parachutes. So I believe this was the car with the nervous driver in, if I remember rightly. It's one of the few films I have actually seen. 2019 casting. This is the 4th time it's been out, so I think it's been in the Fast and Furious series a couple of times. It's got the detail headlamps on there, and as I say, the black racing stripes. Not much else, but you've got a grille on the front. I'll get a good picture of that, and also the detail on the wheels is fantastic. So it's a really nice model, but pretty unique to the films. That's number 2. Okay, number 3 in the set is a Jeep Cherokee. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. So Trackhawk is a trim level. It's the highest performance trim. Runs with a 6.2 litre Hemi Hellcat. It featured in Fast and Furious 9, I believe. I haven't seen the film. It plays a bit of a cameo role. It's not one of the faster cars. It just pulls up somewhere, as I understand. It's a 2021 release. So this is the 2nd time out. Looks superb. But the interesting thing about this, and I will try and get a picture, on the back seat is modelled in is a basketball, and because this casting was originally intended to be released in Hot Wheels ID range. For some reason had a basketball on the back there. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera through the roof, but I will get a picture. So as I say, detailed headlamps, detailed tail lamps, usual smoke windows as well, and bizarrely a basketball on the rear seat. Note the wing mirrors on this car. Quite unusual to see that on many of the castings. So yeah, that's number 3. Right, number 4 in the set is the Porsche Cayman. So Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. Fantastic looking car. I really do like this one. So this is the 3rd generation of Cayman. It's the first one to have turbocharged engines. The 718 has something to do with the Porsche heritage. I mean, if you're into Porsches, you'll understand, but it's something to do with their racing heritage. But anyway, Fast and Furious, this is a really popular car. It's been in 3 films. Don't really know where in the 3 films, but it's been in 3 of them. It's a new casting for this year as well. So this is a 2023 casting. It's the first time out. It's got detailed headlamps and tail lamps. It's got detailed badging on the back, and wing mirrors, which again is quite unusual for Hot Wheels cars. So it's got the wing mirrors fitted on there. So that's number 4. And finally, 505, the Nissan Skyline GTR. These were in production from 1968 to 2002 in various different guises. This is the 5th generation, and this car dates from, I believe, 1999. If you know Fast and Furious, this is the star car. This is you've probably seen it in the silver and blue livery. It was in the first film. It was the star car. It's the one that everybody harpers after. This one was in this livery, was never actually in the film, as I understand. The livery, the orange livery you see on here, is inspired by the Toyota Supra that also featured in, I think, possibly the 3rd or 4th film, I don't know. So the casting for this is 2014. It was retooled then. Basically, the rear wing was integrated into the main body. It was a separate part before. it's been used many times. This is, I think, the 24th, 25th outing for this casting, so it's well used in the Hot Wheels world. In terms of the car itself, it's got the usual headlamps and tail lamps, and it's got this Gladiator decals down the side. I'll get a good close-up of those, and also the tailplate and things on the back. I'll get a close of those. But as I say, the livery is inspired by the Toyota. I don't believe the Skyline ever ran on this. So there you go, that's the set of 5. So I'll leave this there. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope these quick reviews of the Hot Wheels cars are of interest. If you've got any comments to make, please do so. I'd really love to hear them. And thank you ever so much for watching my videos. If you can, please do. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. And again, massive thanks. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.